Gen Z needs to grow up. Yes, another Brad Cooper stream. As you know, once every 2 weeks we watch her videos because they get liked. I like doing them. I like talking about them. She actually gives some debatable topics, so it's always interesting to have a discussion. And the topic of today's stream, as you might have understood, is Gen Z, particularly our generation, and how it might look in the next 10 years, so to say. Because, yes, maybe right now they are still growing up, but they are going to be settling the future. And I know that you can never prepare, you can never predict it. I've watched Back to the Future a dozen times. So it's always just good to think about it positively. But if we were to think about the future, how would it look like? I think that this is what we can discuss while watching this video. Let's omit needless words. And before we start, make sure that you like the video, or actually, yeah, make sure you like the video. But then if you dislike it during while you're watching, then you can go back and switch. In any case, you will have then to leave a comment for this. I mean, guys, I need to know what's bothering you, or I need to know what do you like about the reactions, so that we can make them better. And let's hit our next milestone. Brad Cooper, the stream. Let's go.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper.
Hi,
I'm
Brad.
sure you guys know this if you watch the show, but I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Gen Z. Half the time I'm making episodes criticizing them. Half the time you guys are shocked because I'm saying Gen Z is doing something right, but
Because that's how you get how much? 4 million subscribers, Brad. You can't just be bullshitting on one particular side. No, you have to unite people. So you have to say something bad about them, something good. And in general, they will all come to you. That's the logic.
it does flip-flop. It's very nuanced. Nothing is black and white, obviously. But in my
Who are this is like some sort of new editors. We're only 16 seconds in and I've already seen more special effects than I did last year.
opinion, I think that we are very aware. We are obviously very passionate, which is a good thing. There's a lot of good things that we can be doing and some good things that we are doing. I also think, contrary to many people's beliefs, I do think that Gen Z is smart. I just think that we are misguided in a lot of ways. And much
Exactly. That's what I keep pushing. Like, also another important topic, we are not considered smart only based on some sorts of ideas that are led by the previous generation. But if you really think about it, a lot of these ideas won't even matter in 10 years. Like, I'll give you an example. Is in the next 10 years we can already see it with AI and how much it is affected. Like, you will have to, in order to be smart, you will have to understand something in artificial intelligence. Even if you, like, everyone is going to be using it. I'm not saying that it's going to replace human beings and etc., but you're going to have to know how to use it. And that makes someone from our generation smart. We're not debating over who can, I don't know what would be a debatable topic for the previous generations, but you get it. What was innovative in the how to use? We don't know how to use a BlackBerry, or that we don't. Some of the things that we don't know, we simply don't need. And yes, a lot of the times, because we don't learn them, our critical thinking or any thinking gets stopped. But in general, the term smart will also shift as the generation grows on. So yes, Brad, shout out to you here.
of that goes back to our parents, even though we love them in the ways that we were raised. And there is a TikTok trend going on right now, obviously, there always is, that exemplifies this perfectly, so we have to dive in. And basically, TLDR, the one thing you need to know is that the young adults need help. Before we dive in, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and then ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section episode.
She's talking about this channel, so guys, you don't even need to go watch her original video. Just go below. You know the terms. I'll remind you afterwards as well, but you know the terms.
This trend started around Easter with this video that now has 3 million likes. And I always want to make sure that I emphasize this. That means that it has like 10 million views. This is like individual likes on this video.
I wonder, like, how I have always been wondering, like, how did Bell Porch get the most liked video on TikTok? Like, it's so weird to me because it's literal it's not even like that egg joke where people were just like doing it for fun on Instagram. No, she actually like got the likes. Genius.
And this is the first one that I saw. And to explain it to people, this is a swipe through trend. So there are two photos. So the first one reads, my parents getting married at 21, 23. And then the next photo says, my brother, unmarried, opening his Easter basket at 29. And this just spiraled. It kept going. Everyone was at home with their families over the weekend. It was all of these 25-year-olds doing Easter egg hunts, opening their Easter baskets. It blew into a whole trend. And around Easter, it was just cute and wholesome and funny. Like, it was sweet that these young adults were spending time with their parents. They were going home for the holidays. And obviously, that mother is precious for keeping the traditions alive. Diane does the same thing. I love you, Mom, and I love you.
Like, family, yeah.
Easter baskets. Like, for example,
Yeah, shout out to moms, obviously, as every stream. Mom, if you're watching this, love you with all my heart, and think about like how much you did to me every day. Like, completely serious right now. But and another thing that I wanted to point out is that it's always good to see a family uniting, no matter what age you are, no matter what particular how your roads change, no matter on your status. At the end of the day, you're family, and your strength is being together. It's so, even if it's on the TikTok trend, it's so good to see. I love, it's like cute babies. You see, no matter whose baby it is, you just look at it in the TikTok video, and it's so cute. And the same goes with families. Like, it's always it always puts a smile on my face to see families having fun together, having a great time together.
example, one guy commented and said, I'm a 46-year-old dad of 3 and my mom still makes me an Easter basket. Like, it's very, very pure. That is a good thing. We should not be criticizing that at all. But generally in the
No. Moms will be moms. That's what I learned from my dad.
comments, like, so many people related on a very deep level. One person said, so we're all just children in our 20s here. Another person said, me at 27, my parents did indeed get me an Easter basket. And after that one specific video blew up, just more and more kept coming, like this. My mom at 24 raising me. Me at 24 getting second place in our sibling Easter egg hunt. And the photo is just perfect because they're literally on a podium. After a couple weeks of this, the comments started to get a little more astute. Somebody said, no, but this trend is making me wonder why our parents look so much older than we do at the same age. They look mature as hell. Well, it's probably,
but because they had to grow up. Like, one thing that probably the title says needs to grow up, but we keep forgetting that the older you were in the previous generations, like you had to, bad formulation, you had to grow older, you had fast, you had to grow because you didn't have that privilege to just live your life and, I don't know, do some studies, explore the world. We explored the world. At some ages, 17-year-old men were already like soldiers going out there, like I don't know, defending the land or dying. Like, obviously there are still wars going out right now, but we're talking about like an average human being. You had to go into the fields when you were like 5, whenever you were able to do at least something, carry something, you know, go up and down the hill to grab the water. Like, you don't need to do this right now. And yes, people are criticizing, you know, there's so many TikToks about this, that like teenagers before and teenagers now, but it's not about what they do. It's about how they do. But we'll get on that later.
probably because they were mature, because they were raising children at 24 years old and they were married at 20 years old. And also, they dress like adults all the time. They aren't like us walking around in athleisure half the time pretending that we look cool, but really we just look like we're leaving recess. I'm sorry, I wear athleisure all the time, but that is what we look like.
You mean like a baby clown?
That is not the mature attire. But anyway, this trend continued to grow and it turned away from holidays and Easter baskets. And then it started to get pretty concerning for a lot of people on social media. Here's one example. So this girl posted, my mom at 22, and it's her parents getting married. And then she posted this text conversation with her mom. What do I do when I walk in again? And her mom said, give them your name. And then she said, I need a script. And the mom does a facepalm emoji. And then she texted and said, do I say that I have an appointment? The mom responded and said, say, hi, I have an appointment at 12 o'clock noon. They will ask for your name. tell them your name. She says, okay, thanks. And then text or call if you have any questions or problems. Like this 22-year-old cannot even figure out how to go to an appointment. And
that is concerning. Like, again, one of the things that I wanted to say is, although we don't really need to grow up that fast as we had to do in the past, but we still kind of sometimes forget about it. Like, whenever life gets too good, we kind of forget that you have to do something actually. So yes, we don't really need to grow up super fast, but we don't need to completely not evolve, like not learn the basics. I mean, 22, I won't compare people to me because I think it's going to be a lot of the times unfair. I'm just kidding. But an average 22-year-old needs to know how to behave at an appointment. Come on. You can legally vote, you can legally marry. Like, one of the things that is also hilarious is that a lot of the legal things don't really differ compared to our parents. So if we mature slower, don't we have to like get the, so to say, responsibilities later? Or nah, screw it, biology is biology. 18 means 18. Go do whatever you want. And the guy is literally a big baby.
Tell them that she has an appointment. Somebody commented and said, this is sad. Yes, it is. Here's another one. My mom at 21 marrying my dad. Me at 21 texting my mom. And then she said, myself at 21 texting my mom. Can you make sure a tornado isn't coming for me? I can't find the news. These are people that are voting.
It's over.
I mean, I honestly think this is more of a joke. Like, I still have faith in people. I still have faith in them. Do you really believe that was for serious? Like, I actually am asking you. Like, I can get the appointment part, but this, I mean, and also, why is everyone getting married 21, 22? That should be like our grandparents' average. Even for our parents, 21, 22 was already too young. 24, maybe 25, not 21.
We are screwed.
They can't find the news. I mean,
30 years ago, when approximately our parents were our age, you had friends running up and they were in their late 20s. None of them was married. So and everyone related to that show. That's why I'm mentioning it here. So stop. So, like, keep it low, parents. Come on. Like, don't frighten your children that much.
granted, the news isn't great. It's all just CNN and propaganda, but they can't even find the news. I mean, I'm sitting here making fun of it, but I wanted to talk because last year I had to get off of my brother's phone plan, and that was just, I didn't even want to think about. Somebody said, currently me, married at 29. Another person said, I think about this all the time. Like, I genuinely don't watch the news, and I genuinely have no idea about anything but kinesiology, pre-medical science. Somebody else said, this is the most real trend right now. My offspring are 23 and 25, and the difference between me and them, I don't even know what happened. Well,
we evolved. I mean, you see, all of you are talking about this, right? But no one is talking about, for example, Juliet's mom from Romeo and Juliet, who was really criticizing her daughter with, and I quote, "You are so old already, 14. I was already carrying you at your age." Like, why are we only referring to this? Just because it happened fast? Excuse me, guys. I don't really want to get mad, but if you compared the speed of how we evolved over the last 30 years, what possibilities we got thanks to internet and thanks to globalization. I mean, look even at AI. And it hasn't really been up there for that long. What has been, like, a couple of years? So this is what happened. The faster we're going to evolve, the more time we will need to kind of understand all of this. I'm telling you, this is the reason. There's no conspiracy. We're not like Dumber, and there's no pointing fingers. Ha ha ha. I was carrying you at your age, and you can't even figure out the Wi-Fi password. Shut up! When you were my age, you didn't even use Wi-Fi. That would be such a good comeback.
Ma'am, Audrey, mother, you're going to figure out what happened. And I'm very sorry to say, but you might have caused some of this. You might have. Just saying, boomers, Gen X, you might have caused it. All right. My personal favorite, for good measure, this is the last one. Okay. My mom getting married to my dad at 20. Me at 20. What is the address to my doctor? Am I taking any medications? Are you going to text me what to say to them? And this is what her mom responds. You
Yeah, so probably there
started coughing 10 days ago on Saturday night. That night, you started NyQuil. You went to urgent care on 4/3, and they told you that it was allergies and prescribed you Flonase and prescription allergy medicine. Those 2 pictures I sent you, both did not help, so you went back to taking NyQuil. You are coughing all during the day, and it's worse at night. NyQuil, Vicks, humidifier, and nothing helps. You tried a prescription cough medicine last night that you got back in January when you had this. It has got, like, this girl is sick. And she does not even know what's happening. She's like, what do I tell the doctor? Girl, you are the one who is sick, and your mom knows more about your illness than you do. It is comical. Somebody commented and said, I'd be asking my mommy, do I like this food and things like that. LOL. She can manipulate me so easily, I wouldn't even notice. That's a problem, guys. Somebody else said, you know what? This trend has shown me that I'm doing pretty good.
To be fair, every single time I go on the internet, I think how amazing I am. This might sound like narcissism, and I don't really want to make this video about this, but guys, if you're watching this, I'm absolutely sure you're doing pretty good, because only people who are doing pretty good are going to really be still keeping up to this moment.
Somebody else said, the way I just had my mom set up my appointment, and I work in healthcare. Like, people, this is comedy. We should be making fun of this. This trend is starting to get worrying, y'all. Yeah, just a little bit. Like, it was funny when it was about Easter baskets, and now you can't even make an appointment for yourself. Now I have concerns. I think we all...
That is what I started this stream from. If you think about it, it's logical that we're going to be evolving, so to say, slower. We have much more to consume to understand. You know, you used to only have your village. Now, with this thing, you have the whole world around you, and you need to figure it out. Obviously, you will need time. The problem is when it causes stupidity effects. When all of a sudden we think that because we now know how to use ChatGPT or how to log into our Facebook accounts, we forget everything about critical thinking. We don't need to think because we got Facebook and AI doing it for us. So all of a sudden, when you need basic stuff like making an appointment, all of a sudden you kind of forget how to think. And that is a problem. I absolutely agree. That is a concerning problem. But that happened, trust me, in every generation. We're not exceptions. We are not exceptions. The only reason we can't really see this is because it happened differently. Like when people got phones for the first time and everyone around was like, oh no, now you can't even talk to them, and you can't even tell every single story that happened with you over the last 6 months. Of course I can't. I told this to him like a month ago on the phone. Ooh. Gen Z, our future will be bright.
All have a right to have concerns. There's a difference between going home for the holidays and indulging in your mom taking care of you and relaxing and engaging in fun family traditions and literally not even being able to function as an adult. Like, these are bare minimum things that we should be able to do, and the previous generations were able to figure out. Or on the flip side, maybe these young people do know how to function as an adult, but they're just relying on their parents 24/7 because it's easier than handling it yourself. Maybe we're all just lazy, I don't know. But either way, the state of things is not good, and people have obviously noticed. One person on Reddit said, why does Gen Z infantilize themselves so much? And then he said, I've been feeling this way for 2 years, but
Okay, I think I understand the word infant from en français. Okay.
couldn't really put it into words until now. I'm kind of weirded out by how people on the internet are infantilizing themselves, even to the point where they'll say things like an age gap of 2 years is problematic or dumb shit like that. Yeah, we've talked about that. It is absurd. You are
And yes, I can tell you why an age gap of 2 years is problematic. Remember what was 2 years ago? 20. Just think about AI 2 years ago. Like, honestly, just think about this for a moment. And now look what it can do now. You can't live in years anymore. Our life is breaking through months, weeks. My life is breaking up through weeks. I can't really say days. That would be definitely a lie. But I swear to you, like, I review my life every single week. Like on a Sunday, I sit down and I see what happened during the week. And oh my God, guys, it's like I lived a whole new life. I'm telling you, even if I compare today, what I found out that I have to do in my life, or what I didn't know yesterday, like, it's another person. So yes, a 2-year gap is a huge difference. My friend is visiting me in a month. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be another person by that time. I'm gonna be another person by that time. And you're gonna, like, if you're watching this, you can just compare to, especially if you're watching this on replay, you can just compare to how I streamed like a month ago or how I stream now versus what I'm saying in the past. It's different.
not a 21-year-old teenager.
Why are you bullying me? Don't you boo me! Oh, shut your mouth!
That is dumb. Okay. Oh, he talks about it here. Or how people call themselves a kid when they're literally past 21 and can legally drink. I've seen teenagers on TikTok.
That is the problem. That is the Okay, well, let's finish this and then I'll state the problem.
Attempt to cancel people and harass others, and when they get called out, they're like, I'm only 16 and adults are harassing me on the internet. I've literally seen a video of some people in high school running over and murdering an old man riding a bike, and people in the comments were saying shit like they're kids, they shouldn't be charged with murder. This all feels weird. It feels like people don't want to grow up. They don't. You are totally spot on.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they have not
But who wants to? Who wants to?
been forced to grow up at all. This is the generation that is the product of helicopter parenting, and we are seeing the results every single day. We are seeing that this did not work. Another person on Reddit said they do that because adults infantilized them growing up. Gen Z lived a much more sheltered and structured existence relative to previous generations. Their parents pretty much try to protect them from adult pains and responsibilities more than prepare for them. Yes, and not to mention, it has become cool and desirable to be a victim. I mean, think about all the social contagion that comes with depression and other mental illnesses, where people are self-diagnosing online because it's a trend. It's trendy and cool to make TikTok videos about it. Like, I would bet that there is an appeal to act this sort of way and get babied and then avoid all responsibility from a social point of view. Like, that is a cool, interesting thing. Another person said, because people in your generation are f***ing children who act like toddlers. That's, putting it simply. Where does this come from? Honestly, I think it comes from the constant coddling you all get from your parents and teachers who treat you like you are 5-year-olds regardless of how old you are. It's harsh, but it's true. And obviously, I do not think that these parents had any malintent. I think that they genuinely believed that they were protecting and helping their children. Like, I'm sure that they thought that they were protecting their kids by monitoring and dictating their every move and every part of their life to keep them safe. Not to mention having them focus solely on school and getting into a good college instead of working, going out into the world and gaining real life experience. That has proven not to be an effective strategy. We should not do that again. Because now, many in Gen Z can't even go to a doctor's appointment by themselves. College degrees are becoming less meaningful by the day, and they have minimal work and
yeah, but that's a bit different. It doesn't have to do anything with the generation. It has to do specifically by what a lot of the schools don't teach.
Intern experience when they enter the workforce. Like, it is a mess. But the thing is, we can't fully blame Gen Z for this. I mean, between the parenting styles and COVID and online school and growing up fully in the digital age like no generation before them, not to mention the current financial instability that exists in the world that they are growing up into, no wonder they can't figure stuff out. So for the next generation, something needs to change. Kids need to be pushed out of the nest, even if it is uncomfortable for parents. They need to have their independence fostered, and they should obviously be loved by their parents, but they should be encouraged to grow up and mature, because somehow, with my generation, I think we missed the mark.
And another thing that I wanted to point out that will be a problem, and it's already a problem. Although the generation is not growing that fast, a law doesn't know about this. And what's even more important, biology doesn't often really know about this. So if we come to the period of time where being a 30-year-old would still be considered a child, well, it's all good, but you only get like a couple more actual years to produce a new kid. Maybe that will change in biology. But law definitely should consider this, because a 16-year-old or in the 80s is not the 16-year-old in 2024. And that's what I have to say about our generation. Moral of the video, guys. Everything's going to be fine. Trust me, everything is going to be fine. You just have to do what you're supposed to do. And obviously, use the privileges. If you can't live with your parents, why not? Why not living with your parents? Pay less rent. Enjoy the time while they're still alive and they still have time to spend with you. Obviously, just don't turn into a baby that needs everything passed by them, that needs for their parents to do everything. No, be a man, be a man, be a woman, grow up, like, but use the privileges. Obviously, use the privileges. You know, a lot of the times I see people saying that you should just go and suffer and struggle. No, like, go do the things you have to do and use the privileges to make them even better or faster. That is the moral of this reaction, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. It was very, very active. We're going to watch another YouTube video by Brad Cooper right now, but that was something I just said for those of you watching me live. But for those of you who are watching me on YouTube, I promise you will see me in my other reactions, because look how excited I am. You can't miss them. They're gonna be uploaded soon. Or jump into the next stream. That is also an option. In any case, I will see you in my other reactions.